What's going on, people? Um, Yesterday I did a video on how to plastic weld. Um, I plastic welded a Honda Ruckus battery box. I fixed the tabs on the bottom that like to break off. Today I'm going to show you another application. This is my hard hat. Um, yeah, no, save the dead skins and foreskins and all those comments. I've heard them all a million times. But you can see a nice crack in this thing. So today I'm going to show you how to repair that, because nothing else is really going to fix this. You can try gluing it. I had tape on there for a while. Did some Gorilla tape on there just to hold it, because it was annoying. But that didn't hold for shit. Held for, I don't know, maybe an hour or two, and then it's popped apart because for whatever reason it just wants to come out like this. So I'm going to show you guys how to fix this. What you're going to need is a soldering iron. I picked this up for about $1.50. It's a 16 gauge galvanized steel. 16 gauge is probably overkill. Probably an 18 would be better, a little more pliable. I don't know if I'd go to a 20, maybe even a 20 gauge, but I think 18 would be perfect, but 16 will work. Like I said, it was $1.50 for 25 feet of it. So all you're really going to need is a soldering iron, a pair of dikes, cutters, snips, whatever you want to call them, and some wire. The soldering iron is heating up right now. I just plugged it in. I should have plugged it in before I started the video, but I forgot. But yeah, as soon as that heats up, this is a real simple process, and takes like no time. Just make sure you do it in a ventilated area, because you will be melting plastic, and the shit, when it heats up, it releases off toxins. So you want to do it in a ventilated area. This isn't something you want to do in your kitchen or living room or wherever you feel like doing it. Guess I'll give it a couple of minutes and let that heat up, and I'll start the video again. Alright, so this has had a chance to heat up, so now I'm going to show you how to fix this. You just need a piece of wire, not too big, just has to go across the crack. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bend across it this way, and then there's another one just going this way. See what I did there? Just bent it. Snip that off, and the reason I did that is because if you just have a straight line, the plastic, even though you get it into the plastic, it'll still be able to pull apart because there'll be nothing on the end for it to grab onto. So that's why I just put a bend on that. You can make a loop if you want to, or bend them both the same way. It doesn't really matter. I just did it like that for no particular reason. Because especially this one it's pulling apart on its own, so I'm going to try and give it all the help I can. So basically, you want to do this with a low-powered soldering iron. You don't want a really hot one, because it'll just burn right through the plastic. So what I'm going to do is try and hold this together where it's supposed to go, and nice and tight. Just sit this metal where I want it, which for here I'm just going to put it there, right across that crack there. It seems to be the spot it wants to pull apart the most. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just using a flat tip soldering iron. I'm just going to lay this on top of the metal. I'm not going to touch the plastic. So lay it on top of the metal, just pressing down on it. And what's going to happen is the soldering iron is going to transfer the heat through to the piece of metal I'm using, and it's going to heat that up, and it's going to start sinking in like it's doing now. And I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but it's sinking down into the hard hat. Now, you don't want to go too far. About halfway through would probably be the best, so it seats in the middle. Just don't press too far because it'll go out the other side, and then you just did that for nothing. But yeah, get it nice and hot. Ugh, see, son of a bitch, I pressed too hard. Just told you not to do it, and I did it like a dumbass. But that's all right. I'll just press it back in. It's still nice and soft. And yeah, see, don't do what I just did. Told you not to do it, and then I did it. Plastic's a little thinner than I anticipated. But just press it back down in, and you can just sort of push the plastic back across it, cover it up. And you're going to let that cool for a little bit. I have to keep pressure on this because it'll just move again. So I'm going to let this cool. Alright. So it's still pretty warm, but it seems to be holding pretty good. So now what I'm going to do on the other side, I'm just going to push this plastic back over here so it encases the metal inside of the helmet. That's it. Now it's covered. Now what you're going to do, see, there's many different techniques to do this. One that works pretty good is sort of like putting a bead on like a TIG welder. I'm just going to push it in on itself. Not far, you don't got to go far in. Like I said, about halfway in. And what you're doing is just melting this on itself, and it seals it back up. This is a big crack, so hoping you guys can see what I'm doing here. The reason this works is because obviously the plastic is injection molded. It's poured into a mold hot, and then it dries to the shape, obviously. So all you're really doing is melting it back onto itself. Doesn't have to be perfect, just don't go through. You can sort of smooth it out if you'd like. It's not really necessary. But that's it. Well, it is fixed. Nice and strong. Not coming apart. That's how you weld it. So now I don't have to worry about this popping off with the tape and all that shit. And you know, once this cools down, you can do the other side if you want to. I don't really need to. But that's it. How you plastic weld. Nice and simple. And now I have a functioning hard hat again. Of course, it is a crack on this side, so to make it as strong as possible, you can go on this side, and you can sand it and smooth it if you wanted to. Now, if you were doing something that was going to be painted, obviously you'd want to try to get this side done, and then smooth it out as best you can. Sand it, prep it for paint, and you'll never even know that was there, and it'll be as solid as up here. So yeah, I may do the other side just because this is a hard hat and something dropped on it and caused that to crack, so that saved my ass right there. So I'll probably do this side, but yeah, got a little brace in there, a little stitch if you will, just to hold it tight, give it extra little extra more support. And if you're, I showed before, if you have any black zip ties hanging out, same material. Basically, you can just use the zip tie as a filler rod, and just melt the zip tie across it. If you had a big gap here or something, you could fill it with the zip tie and it'll harden it. It's not going to be pretty, but I mean, this is a hard hat. It's not pretty anyway. It's all beat to shit. But yeah, so there you go.